Hey everybody, this is me, Undead Viking. I'm here not to review a board or a role-playing game for you today. I am here to review dice. Now, that may seem a little weird, but ever since my brother introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons when I was about 8 years old, and he opened the world of the polyhedral dice to me. And like any other, kind of hardcore role-playing gamer and D&D player, I really like my dice. I don't really collect them per se, but I never throw any away. Usually I'm buying an extra set. When I go to like Gen Con, I always get like a big scoop full of dice and get a set of dice, and then I actually write down the year that I went to that particular convention, and so then I just put it on my shelf. Those dice will never get used, but it's just kind of my way of like commemorating the fact that I went to that convention and got a set of dice there. I have this. This is my Block O dice that I keep like all my extras, and there's a ton of dice in here. And this isn't all the dice I have. I have another like 5 or 6 bags of dice as well. And I just and there's no reason for having that many. I just like the looks of them, and I just like having them. And certain dice seem luckier than others, as anybody will tell you. And, for the longest time I had a set of 4 six-siders that I called my character makers for D&D. They always seem to roll really well. So, ultimately, though, where I'm going with this is that my friend John Rott, he is the board game designer and publisher of Gatekeeper Games, and he is... I did a review for his board game that is, now coming out. It's being published finally, and he wanted to make a specific set of dice for the King's Armory. That's his game, and he wanted to make a specific set of dice for them. And he had this idea of making dice that were half one color and half the other. He called them Halfsies. And as luck would have it, he went through production, and he was able to actually, get this to happen. And then when he saw them for the first time, he realized that there were no other dice that really looked like this, that were on the market. And as happy accidents go, he now is running a Kickstarter, which is doing phenomenally well, and it's in its a little over a week left. And he offered to send me some of his dice, and he's my buddy, and I saw the pictures of them. They look beautiful. And so he sent me some sets of dice, and they really are fetching. I mean, I'll show you long distance away, like right here. Here's the sets of dice. I'm going to show you some close-up images of them here in just a little bit. And if these are if you're like me and you collect tons of dice, and immediately when I saw this doesn't look like anything else that I have. So I have some other Chessex dice, and there's Chessex dice in here as well that I will show you to compare. Because I thought for sure when he said, yeah, they're dice that are half one color, half the other. I was like, yeah, I've got dice like that somewhere, and I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked, and I could find things that were comparable, but nothing as distinct and as really halvesy, if you will, that you'll see here. So, like I said, this isn't really a review of a game or anything, but I just wanted to let you know that these dice look really, really cool. And if you're kind of a dice fiend like me, this might be something you'll want to throw in on the Kickstarter, so you can go ahead and get some copies of these dice as well for your giant wooden box of dice that you may have in the corner of your game room. So let me just zoom in on these suckers and then give you a close-up look, and then yeah, you can make up your mind as to whether or not these are the colors you want. So, alright, cool, let's do it. Alright, these are the 4 sets of dice that he sent me, and there are tons more options available on the Kickstarter page. I would strongly suggest going and checking those out at your nearest leisure. I'm just going to kind of pick these up, and you can take a look at them, and I'm going to take them out of there as well. But you can kind of see, when we say Halfsies dice, that's exactly what is happening. You have dice that are half and half. So here's like your 20-sided die, and you can notice they're right down the middle. It is split in half, and these are just like any other die that you may own. They are, come in the standard polyhedral sizes. You do get the two 10-sideds, the 10s and the 1s, so you can have that as well. And so rather brilliant, as far as the two different sides. And I for whatever reason, I really like 4-sideds in these sets. I don't know, I think it's just because it kind of looks like a piece of candy corn or something like that. I don't know why I dig that so much. But, alright, so here, that, and I do apologize, I don't have the name of the color set offhand. I have been looking at them a lot, and you'd think I would have memorized them by now, but, okay, but here we have this very brilliant, blue and like lighter blue, and this is probably, well, no, this technically isn't my favorite. My favorite would be the last one I show you, but this is my number 2. And you'll notice that these have the nice like the floor, like the little swirl. It isn't like the shine to it, like the polish, if you will. Here, let me grab the 12-sided here. The poor forlorn 12-sided that never gets any respect. You'll notice that it's just they are coming out just like you would normally think any other die that you normally have. Like, for example, here, let me grab a Chessex die out of here. I'm out of my big giant collection. Like here, this is just one of my normal like little swirl marbly color. This would be kind of like a dark purple and black. This is not obviously a Halfsies die. You can see that, but it still has that same swirl on it. But for all intents and purposes, they're the same die, except for the fact that these dice are truly half and half one color and half the other. And like, I know a lot of people would say, I mean, the exact same thing I said when I saw these for the first time. I was like, wait a minute, I have dice like this. No, I probably have well over 1,000 dice, and I went through all my bags, because I even kind of called John out on it a little bit. I was like, yeah, this is nothing new, buddy. And he's like, no, this is totally new. Like, here's an 8-sided, and this is kind of... This is a really nice color too. I really like the kind of the yin-yang thing that's going on here, as far as the two different colors. I dropped the 4-sided, of course. This particular 4-sided I like because it's got like the nice dark base to it. So it's like, I kind of like, look at that. It looks kind of like a mountain, But I mean, that's what I mean. These dice just, they pop. Unlike other dice that I have, just generic dice or 20-sideds or whatever. These just, they stand out, probably just because there's nothing else like it that I have or whatever. Now here, this is my favorite color of the ones that he sent me, and like I said, there are tons more dice that he has that if you go on the site, but I like these. Here, let me just grab the 20-sided real quick. This kind of blue yellow, this like really, once again, that nice swirl, the nice marbling or whatever, and the right in the middle, and it's just like these two colors complement each other so well. And like I said, I was always saying, well, wait a minute, I have dice that are like this. Now here is, like I said, a Chessex dice, and this is actually my daughter's dice that she uses when we play D&D. And so these are pink and black, and I was like, see, there's one right there. There's one right there. It's a Halfsies die. That's what I said when I first saw it. This 12-sided. But you can see it kind of is, but notice how it isn't a straight line. And if you go over, here's that dark smudge on the one side, and it's kind of marbled over here on the side. This is not a Halfsies die. Same deal with this. It's like it's kind of pink on one side, but not. These are truly half and half. Like here's the 6-sided out of my daughter's set. It's just like it's got a couple of lines of black on the one side, but most of it is pink. Whereas these over here, they are distinctly one half one color, one half the other, and that's what makes these so remarkable to me. Like you're gonna find maybe a die or two in your collection that are gonna be like this, where you're going to say, see, that's like a Halfsies die, but it really isn't, you know, because of all the different changes. Those are just, that's a mix of two colors that they put together. Now here is like just kind of like a flat marbly color. This is one of my favorite sets that I actually owned, that I used during D&D. And this kind of like shows off that marbly texture. But once again, it's just, these are still nice looking dice and everything like that. But the Halfsies dice just look different. I mean, they are unlike anything else that I have in my collection, and they are, as I said, just absolutely beautiful. And you know, and other than that, I mean, they're exactly the same as the Chessex dice you probably own and love, that you have tons of in your collection. The same, you know, the 20-sided 1 through 20. You know, it's just what you'd expect. But like I said, you're not going to have anything else that's going to look like this in your particular giant bucket of gaming dice, if you will. So I invite you to go and check out the Kickstarter page. John has worked really hard on that, and I guess like it's super cheap. We're reaching out to the community, asking them what colors that they should offer, you know, what they should expand upon, and I know he just told me that like they reduced the shipping like worldwide, you know, and technically, I mean, you're sending a package of dice fairly light, it's going to be cheap, but he's actually reduced shipping, so to make it affordable for anyone and everyone that wants to get a set of Halfsies dice. So there you go. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I just wanted to show these off, just because, like I said, these really are nice looking dice, and I am kind of a dice geek. So, alright, thanks again for taking the time to watch my videos. This was Undead Viking. You have yourself one heck of an awesome day.